This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk through this 2021 Forest River Salem model 31KQBTS. Alright, so let me just walk around to the door side of the trailer. We'll go down to the rear and start off there. Okay, so first of all, you've got a quick connect for your LP right there. That's used to, you have a swing out grill here, so you get a hose with it, and you'll connect the grill to the LP system. We're using that quick connect there, and it draws LP from the tanks front. Now this unit has a scissor style stabilizers, but it also has something called a strong arm. This strong arm basically takes the forward and rearward movement out of it. So you have to remember that you have to loosen this when you move the jack up and down. Once you get it into place, stabilize the trailer as you want to, you can tighten it up so it stops moving. But you have to loosen it back up when you start to bring the scissor jacks back up. And it's a good habit when you get once you get it up, just snug it up a little bit so it doesn't vibrate out when you're traveling down the road. That little T-handle there. But the main thing is you have to have it loose when you're bringing the stabilizer up and down. Of course, there's one on every corner, so, okay. All right, you got a refrigerator and a sink in this one. This is the hose right here for your grill. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. You have a power awning with an LED strip. This is power out here, of course, outside speakers, furnace. Now, this is your, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get fresh water right at the city water hookup, which is on the other side of the trailer. That's regular city water. Now, if you go to a campsite that doesn't have city water, like a older state park, let's say, you have a fill station when you first go through the gate, you pre-fill your onboard tank right here. So you fill it, and then you use the onboard pump to pump the water. So you can still use all the plumbing in the trailer, even if you don't have city water. All right. So this is your water heater here. Let me open it up here for you. Okay. So the thing to know about this is, right now it's empty. And this is your drain plug / anode rod. It screws right into there. Never run the water heater without water in the tank. When you turn on the electric heating element, you operate it from out here. There's a switch right here in the lower left-hand corner. If you can see it, a rocker switch. It's off right now. That controls the electric heating element that's behind that cover there. The switch for the gas is inside, but that switch you just should know about. It's right there. If you run the electric heating element without water in the tank, it'll dry fire. It's called dry firing, and it'll burn out in like a minute or so. So you always want to make sure you filled up the tank. Well, how you do that is, first of all, you make sure the water heater's in camping mode, not in bypass mode. Then you're going to hook up the city water, and then you turn on a hot water faucet, and it'll be blowing out air. And then eventually, as it fills up, it'll be a mixture of air and water, and eventually you get solid water coming out of the hot water. Then you know it's full. Okay. All right. Let me close this up. I'll show you the switches inside, okay? Alright, so, I'm sorry about if you're having trouble with the audio on this. It's been clicking on and off. I'm not sure what's wrong, but I'll do the best I can here. Also, this is your vent for your range hood. You can see there's a baffle up there that can flap freely. You push it, it locks into place, or you can pull it loose to flap freely. When you're venting using the vent fan over the range, you want it to flap freely. All other times when you're traveling or in storage, you want it clicked shut. All right, your steps fold right into the trailer. The legs are adjustable. You can adjust them to the terrain individually. So you just push up this little lever here, and you can move the legs to the position you want and adjust it to the terrain. Okay. All right. So another stabilizer with a strong arm, of course. This is just a hookup if you wanted to get a solar panel to charge the battery. That's where you would plug it in. So, let me see what we have here. We back up and look at some stuff. See if we're missing anything. Okay, so this small crank here is we're missing a piece right here. I'm going to make sure you get this. And also there's a lens missing here. Sorry, but it'll be on there before you pick it up. This crank here is in case you have a failure with your power tongue jack. You can take this cap off and you put the crank on there and crank this as if, you know, if it fails. So you can always hitch and unhitch doing that. So it can get you out of trouble. That's your power tongue jack, of course. You got 2 LP tanks that are full, and you have an automatic changeover regulator. That's your deep cycle marine battery, and that's your kill switch for the battery. So when you put it into storage, you'll still have some, like the carbon dioxide LP detector will still draw power from the battery. So if you just shut it off, your batteries will not drain down that quickly. So it's a good thing to do when you put it in storage. That's your sewer hose right there, of course. And you walk to the rear. Okay. Now, these are your dump valves here. Okay, actually there's a down at, if you can see down that way, there's a gray tank, which is called a galley tank, right? Then you have your gray and your black tank here. The gray tank is sink and shower water, of course. The black tank is toilet water and waste. So you're always going to dump the black tank first, and then you dump the gray tank, because the gray water is cleaner dirty water than the black tank, of course. It's toilet water and waste, so you just clean out that way. Then if you leave the valve open on your black tank, you can hook the hose up at the dump station onto this fitting right here, and turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of your black tank. That's the black tank flush, so it'll clean it out really well. If you have running water or a hose that'll screw on there at the dump station, almost all of them do, definitely take advantage of it. Okay, you have also have slide toppers, of course. This is your power cord right here. I'm just going to plug this in for you. For me, actually. As you're coming to pick it up, excuse my camera work here, but I just want to get this plugged in real quick. Actually, I thought it was plugged in. Okay, so the cord is 30 amps. Whoops, I'm sorry. It's a 30 amp, 30-foot cord. Okay, so this is your city water connection I told you about right here. Let me show you where I'm at here. Sorry. So you're going to use this almost always. Like I said, if you don't have city water, you can fill the onboard tank and use the pump to pump water. Okay, so this housing tells us we're pre-wired for a backup camera. So keep that in mind. You can we do sell them here. You can see behind you when you're backing up, and also you can see behind you when you're pulling it down the road if you choose. Also, while we're looking up, you have to keep in mind that the manufacturer states that you should inspect the roof and the seals every 90 days. So once in the spring, once in the middle of the summer, once in the fall, you or somebody else can go up there and look around, make sure there's no cracking or separation, make sure there's no damage to the roofing material because of, you know, road debris flying up there or low branches, that sort of thing. Make sure the vent covers are all in good shape. It's a good thing to do. You just do that so you don't ever get any water damage inside. So, okay. Alright, let's move inside then. She did not leave a rug for me. Great, okay. Alright, this is your control panel. The water pump is right here. Use that for pumping water out of the freshwater tank or winterizing the trailer. Your water heater is here on gas. I told you the electric hookup where it was at. Your slide out is right here. Very simple. Let's see what else we have here. Let me look around, see what I'm missing here. Okay, so you have your power awning right next to it, right there. You can see. Let me turn on the lights for you. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in so you don't get damaged by the wind. Battery charged, fresh, black. Needs to be drained, but we're still working on it. Gray and gray. Okay. When this is pre-wired, basically the wiring's already in the wall here, and then it goes up to the roof, and there's a hookup on the roof too if you ever wanted to add a king go to kingconnect.com to look at the products. But a Wi-Fi booster, basically, a router sits here on the shelf, and then you've got a booster antenna on the roof. It's pre-wired for that if you ever need to get better Wi-Fi. You get better public Wi-Fi, better bandwidth, a stronger signal. Okay, this is your booster for your digital antenna. It should be on when you need it to be. If you are using the antenna in your TV, you have to have that in the on position or you won't get a good signal. Alright, so your radio, you can stream off USB. It's got a Bluetooth, so you can hook up with your phone or tablet. That's an HDMI into the system if you want to go into it with a gaming machine or something. You've got FM radio. You got zone 1 and zone 2. Zone 1 is inside the trailer. Zone 2 is outside the trailer. Okay, you have a Fireplace. Let me see where all the stuff's at here. Where did they put it? Let's see here. Where would they put that stuff? Let me look in the packet here. You have a remote, 2 remotes for this. There's one right there. And then let me set the camera down for a second. Hold on. Let's see the antenna for the I'm sorry, the remote for the okay, well, I'll find it. I can't see it in here, but we have it. I'll make sure it's in here for you. It's the remote control for your Fireplace. Basically, you can change the speed of the fan, low, high, and off. You can set the temperature with a thermostat. You can change the appearance of the fire, and you have a timer. So you can set it to turn on and turn off whenever you choose, alright? This right here, this couch jackknifes flat, turns into a bed. This one you can take the poles out and drop the tabletop onto these cleats and turn it into a bed. Alright? The microwave works like any other microwave. That's your range hood that we told you about. Make sure you open the baffle. Your range, you're just going to spark it by turning this knob clockwise. And I suppose he's got the gas shut off. Yes, he does, of course. Hold on. Hey, would you? No, never mind. I'll do it myself. Let's walk outside and we'll turn the gas on. Okay, here we are. Yeah, there we go. We have a lot of new people here, so hard time ever to get on the same page when you got new people. Okay. So I'll just set that there for now. Okay, so now we can turn on the oven and the stove. Okay, so it's going to take a second for the... Oh, there it goes. So anyway, so we spark it by turning it clockwise, and it takes a minute for the LP to get up there. There we go. Getting stronger. Oops, I'm sorry. There's the other one. And number 3. Okay, so they're all working. Now, to light the pilot light for the oven, you can see that all the way at the back on the bottom is a pilot. Right? If I spark it, you can see it sparking, hopefully not always, but sometimes anyway. So what you'll do is you'll come to the knob on the right, which is the oven knob. You go to the flame, which means pilot. You depress it. You keep it depressed, and then you're going to spark it with your left hand. When the pilot light lights, you're still holding this in, and you hold it for another 10 seconds after it lights. Then you go to operating temperature, and it cycles like an oven does. But when you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight it each time you use the oven. Okay. Your refrigerator is a 12-volt compressor refrigerator, so it runs off the power converter when we're plugged in, and when you're pulling it down the road, it'll run off the battery while the battery is being charged by the tow vehicle. This is a LP detector here. Let's walk into the back for a second. I'm sure that's where the power converter is. Yep, there it is. This is your power converter here. This converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So you got regular household type circuit breakers there, if you can see that, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. If they blow, they'll actually light up so you can see it through this tinted plastic here. Also, as long as you're plugged in, it'll sense how much energy your battery needs, and it'll keep it charged. So it's a battery tender also. So, and it's got a fan inside that'll kick on and off as the load is put on it. Alright, so this folds down to another bed. You always want this in the up position when you bring the slide outs in. Right? This is a couch that turns into a bed here, obviously, and then you have this will fold straight back so you can lock it into place. So you have headroom. And this is your TV hookups here, of course. So you got everything you need. Now keep in mind that the buttons for the see if you can see that to control the slide rooms is right. The switches are right here. Like I said, make sure you have that bed in the proper position before you bring the slide rooms in. Okay, the bathroom works like any other bathroom. You just remember to use the fan with the shower so you don't build up humidity in the trailer. And if you don't know RVs, maybe you already know all this, but there's a flush lever right over here, if you can see it right there. When I open it, we don't have any water hooked up, but that's the black tank directly below. So what we want to do is when we get to the campground, you can't, well, first of all, you can't use this toilet dry. When I say dry, I'm talking about the black tank directly below. So it'll be empty when you pull into the campground. You'll hook up the water and the power. Then you're going to come in here and you're going to step on the pedal. Water will come swirling out, and you put about a gallon or so inside the tank. There's no way to tell exactly what a gallon is. You just use common sense. Also you'll dump the chemical in there. Whatever chemical you use, you'll put 1 dose in there. Anytime you're starting off with an empty black tank, you put water and chemical in there. That's important. Otherwise the smell will be unbearable, and it can also get clogged up. Okay, so here we are up front. You have TV hookups and a backer plate to put your TV bracket. You have some storage underneath the bed, of course. To operate this escape window, you're going to just push it all the way through. Then you take this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can exit that way in an emergency. Okay, let me look around. I think I've got everything now. Let me see here. Yes, I believe so. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing at National RV Detroit, and I just want to point one thing out here. When you winterize the trailer and pump antifreeze in, you take out these 2 screws here. You see we're right below the refrigerator here. It's got a little sticker there so you can remember, but under there is your water pump and the antifreeze intake hose also. So keep that in mind, alright? So once again, thanks for buying your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember about inspecting your roof every 90 days. Check the seals and the condition of the roof. And never run your water heater without water in it. And always put water and chemical in your toilet when you just first start using it after you've emptied the black tank. Okay? Thank you very much.